Whoa, we are live. Shout out to my man Soul's Balls that blessed me with this Yeti and this awesome t-shirt that I'm wearing backwards because it has the We Are Live hashtag on the back. Good morning, happy hump day. It's Wednesday. How are you guys doing? But before I say what's up, before I see who's out there, because you guys are chatty today, I just want to remind you, don't be a creep. Crush the likes and smash subscribe, you mutters. Let's go. All right, so who is here? I know for a fact Holly is here because Holly started chatting at 5 in the morning. By 5 o'clock in the morning, I was already done with the ASFs. I had already put away the dishes like a good husband. I had already swept, threw out the garbage, walked the dog. You want to know why, guys? Because money's made in the morning, okay? Get up early. Get up nice and early, all right? Get things done. If the first thing and the only thing you do to start your day is make your bed, make your bed. Start it out with an accomplishment. What is up, Texoma Exotics? Good morning, Holly. I see you. We got Sugar Skull Serpents in the house. My man, Forward Motion Reptiles. Will's hella heat. I'm not gonna. There we go. Okay. After numerous hellos and all this chatting with other people, he finally said good morning to me. Will's hella heat. Podcast horror extraordinaire. I see Metal Scales Reptiles. Maurice says, what's up? What's up? Hashtag Hugh. So 5 a.m. is the new chat startup time. Thanks a lot, Holly. Dr. Joe and Kingdom Pythons. I hope your kids learn a lot today. Keep kicking ass. Hashtag Hugh. You are the man. Good morning. I need some Dunkin' in my life, too. Who else we got up in her? Let's see. Balls and strikes. Pythons had an amazing show this week. Congratulations. I'm very happy to hear that you decided to sell some snakes and empty out some of those tubs so you can make some more of that greatness. South Carolina in the house. Eric Morse Factory, what is up? Another showstopper, always doing his things at the shows. How are you doing? Python Patrol, Sphere of Serpents, JQ, J Quintana in the house all the way from Florida. I got a cute little video from Florida. You guys have a whole different type of reality down there. John Limon, what's up? Good morning, Corwell Scales. Good morning, Carachet. So what are we doing today? What are we talking about? Kike is another podcast whore and proud of it. He will let you know that he is proud. I love you guys. But I think that we have podcast whores and we have professional podcast viewers, right? But then there's also the whores. I hit the like button. I'm proud of you. Good morning, Nick Breeders. Wow. They posted something yesterday on Instagram. It was so dark and lovely. Oh my gosh, my jaw dropped. What a beautiful animal. It's podcast horror time. That's what's up. Shane getting home from work. What's good? Return of the Mac over the pond. Love all the way from the UK. Tamethus Reptiles. Grab your balls if you got them. And everybody in this chat got balls, so you should all be grabbing them. Jamie, good morning. Ballers Garage. My man Dave, look at that. We got Connecticut in the house. You finally learned how to hit that link button, buddy? Finally. My brother Shamir, Royal Black Balls. More love from over the pond, 21st century, enigmatic, Inquiline. Slater, I have not seen you in some time. What is going on here? Be nice if you gave me some love, but that's fine. Wake and Bake Wednesday. Most of you people that wake and bake have a wake and bake Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So don't give me that wake and bake Wednesday nonsense, all right? You know you do it every day. Wow, look at this. We got the Australian love in the house. I gotta go back and catch that live you did. I did catch some of it. I do want to go back and catch the rest of it. What is up, Basement Pythons? How are you? I got my homie Mac O'Morph in the house. Kurtwood, I haven't seen you in a while. Guy, you people are showing up. Marlon, how it do? How are you? Private sector. All right, look at all the love. Look at all the love in the chat. You know something? I'm wondering, are you guys here for drama? Because I'm always getting bashed for being a drama king, not a queen. I'm a king, all right? Grand Rising, what it do? Ryan's Exotic Pythons, my man Morphed Ambitions. I had a cup of coffee in my Morphed Ambitions mug, and now I have this big old thing in this tumbler. But I just want you to know, brother, I was thinking about you this morning. Morning, morning, morning. 2 words for your puffy bread. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. We got the one, the only Snakes and the Fat Man in the house. Creme de la Clutch. My man, this guy gives me peace, okay? Peace and love to all of you in the chat, but just seeing him, his presence, he's one of those people that you need to have in your circle. Ancestral Royal Pythons. Jason is the man. He just brings calmness. We should all seek calmness, seek that peace, seek that love. Texas Kid Reptiles, what's up? All right, well, you guys are here. You guys are chatty. That's awesome to see. It's hump day. You already know. Okay, not the drama, here to learn what not to do. Well, you came to the right place. Good morning, brother Brian. Hope you and the family are well. It's been many, many moons, man. Sign 10. Yeah, I get it. I get it. What is up, Boards Exotics? I get it. The weather up here is crappy. We have snow, we have freezing rain. And whenever there's bad weather, it really hurts. Um, it hurts financially. We work outdoors in the industry we're in. The weather really, really does hurt us. All right, guys, it's been a great week, great week. So what's going on? Let's see. In the world of news, rumor has it Kanye West got married. Um, I find it funny. He married a woman named Blanca Sensory. Blanca meaning white. Sensory has the word censor in it. Censor white. I mean, if that's not if that's not irony, I don't know what is. But yes, it's true. They have some history. She's a beautiful woman. So yeah, that's the word around town. Uh, we titled this episode "Nobody's Safe," and well, we already know that didn't work out too well in the reptile world, but we'll get back to that. But as far as nobody being safe, Usain Bolt, the the Jamaican track star, like the greatest runner in history, gold medal, Olympian, etc., was scammed out of his entire retirement savings. They scammed him for $10 million or 9,999,980. I don't know, something crazy like that. But like 2,000, they left him with like $2,000. So they scammed him out of his entire. So guys, nobody's safe. We have to understand that when we talk about this show, we do talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly, because it's reality. It is the reality of the world we live in. Okay. If something just seems too good to be true, they usually are. That's why I give you enough crap so that way you realize that I'm 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 true. I'm not too good to be true. We have Amanda joining us. What's up, Amanda? Let's see. That photo of Brian and Chris out to dinner was cool. Looked like two mobsters planning a hit. Well, what was even cooler, and actually, I guess I'll show that now. I did get to join the Fat Man. Okay, the one, the only Snakes and the Fat Man podcast host, Mr. Chris Eaton, for lunch. It was actually a lunch date. It was the second time we've gone out to eat. As you already know, I am a big fan of his, and we have grown to be reptile friends, and I reach out to him a lot for advice. Isn't that crazy getting advice from that man? But it was a great lunch, and I had puffy bread. Okay, so he said two words, puffy bread. I've never had puffy bread before, where you get this big, huge bowl, a balloon of bread, and I'm like, whoa, this is a lot of bread. And then as soon as you tear a little piece, it just deflates. It's a big old airy balloon of bread, but it was delicious. And now I can't get the ribs. We had these garlic, like dry rub ribs, and they were absolutely delicious. Chris was kind of weak. Um, he only ate a couple of ribs and took food home. Yeah, I didn't even leave a grain of rice. I worked very hard on this figure, and my shape. I'm very proud of it. And yes, round is a shape. And as you can see, I put a lot of effort into it. But had a great time. Look forward to doing it again. We'll definitely be going back to that spot. I think mentioned it to my wife. Oh man, at least three three or four times since, wanting to get back. So yeah, I'll definitely be going back there. So speaking of the news, uh, South African has found like his ninth huge python in his house. And after seeing that and reading that in the news, which is kind of scary, it was an African python. He said, fortunately, it looked like it just ate. I see this pull up on my feed, and this is what Floridians deal with. I mean, like, this is kind of interesting, where you have to always be aware of animals crossing. Now, for most of us, this would be a pretty cool sighting, right? You're just driving along and you see this huge, what appears to be a Burmese python just crossing the road and, just going about its day. For most people, okay, for most people, yeah, uh, it's not such a cool sighting. Tag Reptile says that's every day for us down here. Like I said, that I would think it's pretty cool. I wouldn't want to get bit by a huge Burmese python like that. I did have at one point in the 90s an albino Burmese python. It was absolutely beautiful, but the thing had the nastiest temper possible. Balls and Strikes says, my wife says I have the body of a god. Buddha. Well, Buddha was a god or is a god, right? Bowler's Garage wants to know, why are the serving tongs on your plate? Silly question. Okay, this boy got to eat. Um, so yeah, I wouldn't want to get bit by a huge Burmese python. And we're always talking about things to do and not to do, right? Someone mentioned it early in the comments that I come here to learn what not to do. Kudos to you. We're always talking about things to do and things not to do. And there's always the debate, live feeding videos, these posts that are for sensationalism. I definitely want to delve deeper into that and do more research on that entire topic. But another topic that has come up recently has been snake bite videos. Um, I find that interesting as well. I look at it from the perspective that when you see a snake bite video and you see the minimal effect, the minimal harm it does, it helps. Where most people see it that it harms the community. Um, so that's been an interesting topic. So on my news feed pops up two videos from Brian Barczyk. Que pasa, BBM reptiles? So two snake bite videos. I mean, he had a channel called Snake Bite TV, and one of the snake bite videos, I opened it up, nothing crazy. 4.7 million views. Now, what grinds my gears, okay, what ruffles my feathers is that there's no backlash. Where's all the noise when a small member of our community with their 1,000, 2,000 subscribers or followers on Instagram post something like that? My goodness, the crucifixion of Christ is relived. Where's that backlash with the people that have millions, literally 3 million subscribers? Where's the backlash then? Why is there such a double standard? So when we're talking about no one's safe, this isn't geared or aimed towards the people that are posting the snake bite videos. This is aimed towards the people that are bashing them. Have you contacted Brian Barczyk? Have you contacted Nerd? When Nerd got bit in the face and you had the blood dripping down Kevin's face. Where is the noise towards the bigger influencers in the hobby? Maybe there shouldn't be noise. Maybe we should pick and choose the hills we want to die on. I just don't get it. It just really boggles my mind. Ron says, I'll take a snake bite over a feeder bite. Yeah, I understand that. I agree. I've only been nipped once by an ASF. Let's see. Yeah, I've been bit a few times. I'm pretty good at not getting bit. Um, I don't know if you guys remember the movie with Steven Seagal, and he wrote on the mirror, "Anticipation of death is worse than death itself." That's kind of the same thing with it's kind of the same thing with a snake bite, right? Amanda says, I'll take a snake bite over a dog bite any day. Yeah, that's for sure. Especially like when, I have pit bulls. Well, one pit bull, my other baby died. And yeah, you kind of don't want to get bit. ASF bites are the worst. I don't know. I only got a little nip off the front. Forward Motion Reptile says, I was just talking about this. If it's so bad for the community, why is there no negative comments and the video goes viral? Well, that's the double standard in this community. Okay. That is the double standard. Derek's Reptile says, Nick the Wrangler posted a bite video with an anaconda biting him 4 times. No one batted an eye. It went viral, 5 million views. So the next time you see someone, and I don't care who it is, making a comment about bite videos, ask them, do you give this energy and effort towards the big names? Have you contacted Brian Barczyk? One of the people who have done the most for the reptile community, who has given us more exposure than pretty much anyone. I have no issues with snake bites unless they are purposely trying to get bit. Just feed the videos. That bothers me. Well, Will, the video that I'm speaking of is exactly that, where he's answering a question of what is a snake bite like, and antagonizing the snake to be bit so he can be bit on video. Barczyk takes ton of heat. Most of the hate gets buried, all of the other comments, but the good to bad is probably 100 to 1. If you're an Inquiline says, if you're in a spotlight like these big guys, everything is content, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Exactly. And there you go. That's the justification. So that was just one of the things that were on my mind. I just find it interesting, and another word for interesting is hypocritical. Okay, we'll use that as a word of the day. Another word that we can have for today would be, most of you in the chats have a reptile menagerie of sorts. Yeah, I remember reading a book in high school called The Glass Menagerie, or how we said it was The Glass Menagerie. And it's a collection of animals. So I guess we can use that as a word for the day as well. Menagerie. Okay, it's a nice, pretty word. You sound fancy when you tell people you have a menagerie of snakes. How does that sound, guys? Um, in the world of podcasts, let's see what happened this week. Hold Back Rack podcast. As you know, I've become a fan. I've been talking about them for months now. They did an episode on boas, and I'm a boa man, so obviously I appreciated them dedicating an episode to boas. Jana did a post promoting about 107 different podcasts. And although she woke up at 4 a.m. to be on this show, oh, there goes my wife, her beeping. Good morning, my love. Good morning. Although she woke up at 4 a.m. to be on this show, and shout out to all of you that wake up at 4 a.m. to be on this show on the West Coast. Mad props to you. And after the show, asked when was she going to be on it again because she had such a good time and couldn't remember the last time she had such a great experience on a podcast. Okay, mind you, she had a whole podcast tour. I didn't make the list. What's in Your Cup did not make Jana's podcast list of podcasts to watch. Should I feel some kind of way? Jana, you and I are going to have a talk, lady. But that will not stop me from saying, make sure you guys go and give Hold Back Rack podcast a view. Very educational, very, very good content. And it's one of the things that I like to watch. Last week on the Milk Carton Chronicles, we featured Nava Reptiles, and he popped up. He popped up on the HC podcast. And I forgot to mention, because I got sidetracked, he is scheduled to be on the Snakes and the Fat Man's Where Are They Now? So you see, the milk cartons work. Okay, they actually work. Now, speaking of milk cartons, I'm not too happy. I'm very, very sad about this week's Milk Carton Chronicle, because I really like this individual. Okay, but I've reached out. I haven't heard from him. Elliot of Elvision, or Ellivision, or as I call him, Ellibot, had to be the most supportive member of the community, one of the most positive people, the original ambassador, the original podcast whore. But I'm telling you, the guy just brought sunshine with his big smile wherever he's at. I know he had some health issues which affected employment, which caused financial issues, and I am just hoping that he is well. Okay, and if anyone has a contact for him, please reach out to him. Tell him to contact me. I had the fortune of meeting him on his birthday, where I gifted him some swag. And we need people like Elliot in the community. So I want to make sure he knows that he is missed and that we want him back. So what else happened in the world of podcasts this week? Let me see something here. I support the assistants, BNS Reptilia. You want to know something? I believe that the assistants are extremely, extremely appreciated. For those of you that don't know who the assistants are, you can go watch my episode with Jana on What's in Your Cup, or go catch the Hold Back Rack podcast. The reason I tend to lay off Barcheck, Troy says, the reason I tend to lay off Barcheck is because he is like a gateway drug. I know I was introduced to the crazy ball python world because of him, and I can accept that. I'm not going to discuss other people that are missing, because right now we're discussing Elliot, and that's where I want my energy and focus. And the person that you're mentioning, I have communicated with and does pop up and has been on many chats lately. Okay, so what else is going on? Let's see. Snakes and the Fat Man, speaking of the one and only, had the heartbeat of Canova on his show, which I believe is the first time you will ever see Joy Kabelka, Justin's wife, on an episode, and my homie Shamir, who was in the chat earlier. My homie Shamir was his road dog and his cameraman. Um, so it's interesting, you know, when you see someone willing to pay their dues to gain experience, to gain exposure, to learn. And then you have so many people that have this sense of entitlement. Well, I bought a $3,000 snake. Ha! Here I am. So shout outs to Shamir and shout outs to Chris for giving him that opportunity. I was also very, very, very happy to see our own PW, and I will not use that for podcast whore, as Will is trying to share his title, our very own precious woman of Texoma Exotics, Holly Russell, on the 15 Minutes of Fame. She got her cherry popped. Her YouTube live cherry was popped by Snakes and the Fat Man. And I was very happy to see how well she did. And she is a great member of this community. And I am so looking forward to what she does. With that said, she actually has snakes from us and has another one coming. And what I want to do, okay, what I want to do is I have a Canova snake for her. It is an Orange Dream Yellow Belly double het. I forgot what the double het is. I think it's Clown Pied, going her way. And we will be using Redline Shipping. Redline Shipping is not a sponsor of my show. I do not have any sponsors. So there is no financial gain for me to share that we will be using Redline Shipping to send her that snake when the weather permits. The reason I would like to use Redline Shipping is that recently there was a witch hunt, right? And there is power in numbers. So it's funny that this show is Nobody's Safe when we already know that there was an episode called Nobody's Safe, hosted by two very well-known podcasters in the reptile community. That didn't turn out too well. I know that that's how I got dubbed the Pin Hat Guy. Okay, but I'm okay with that. You see, I'm definitely okay with that because I have just a certain personality where I can make light of things and I can flip it, and I'm all right because you see, the Pin Hat Guy, this crown right here is because I'm your podcaster's favorite podcaster, and any one of my shows, any one of my 3 shows with 5 different types of segments that have gone for over 409 consecutive episodes will prove this is the coolest reptile podcast in the world. The coolest, in case you had a question about that. But as you know, there was a behavior that kept getting worse. And it got to a point where the community said enough is enough. If you didn't see my episode last week with Shane, that discussed a lot of what was going on, and that it finally hit Shane. Okay, but it's hit so many people. There's been so many victims on this path, and people spoke up. People contacted sponsors and made it clear they did not approve of that sponsorship. And one of the people that sponsored this individual was Redline Shipping. And Redline Shipping was one of the first people to contact me and let me know that they were looking into things, and they would be making a decision. And to my knowledge, okay, the hat is over 20 years old, so that dust is part of the allure. Just so we're clear, Will. So Redline Shipping was one of the first to take a stand and do something. We already said it. Brian is cutting it up. No, Derek, I am just discussing the good, the bad, and the ugly. And with Redline Shipping had contacted, look, we never want to attack a person. Our issue was the behavior that was taking place. Okay. And that is what was being addressed, was the behavior. Okay. I agree with Morphed Ambitions, guys. All right. Go smash that button and don't be a creep. But it was the behavior, and for Redline Shipping to address it, and I believe others have as well. And I'll be looking into it. This is where we often fail. If you look at online reviews, you will see more often than not people complaining. They will find the time and apply the effort and energy to post a complaint or a negative experience, but won't give that same effort and energy into a positive experience. This is where every person that contacted a sponsor, whether you did it in an appropriate manner or not, should be contacting the sponsors that took a stand and said that they would not endorse that behavior. This isn't about an individual. It's not about a person. It's about the behavior. Because if anyone else demonstrates that same behavior, they will not endorse that. Okay? You should be reaching out to those sponsors and saying thank you. You should be expressing your gratitude that your voice was heard and action was taken. And in return, when the opportunity presents itself, you should be giving them money. Because that's what sponsorship is all about. Warful, I will make it my best effort to have a great day. You have a great day. And I am going to make that barbecue somehow. I'm really, really working on trying to make that barbecue. Thanks for the heads up, such early notice. So I will be using Redline. Holly and I will be using Redline when we send her the Canova snake. Okay. And if at minimum you reach out to the sponsors that said they will not be condoning that behavior, at minimum, if you reached out to sponsors making demands or saying you wouldn't be using them, whatever the case is, you should be reaching out to them and saying, thank you for listening to me. Thank you for taking a stand on that unacceptable behavior, because the goal is to change the behavior. It's not to cancel the person. And if you watch any of my episodes that discuss that person, I've always said there is a lane for that person. Okay? I've always said it, but that behavior is unacceptable. 412 balls, inside joke, guys. You'd have to go see an old episode of Samson and I to understand that. The secret to a great cup of coffee is to grind your own beans. Forward Motion Reptile says it appears he lost Cold Blooded Cafe, which is huge. If so, they are actually personal friends. I believe that all sponsors said something, and they're probably evaluating it, and they'll see his behavior, and if things change, maybe they'll be back. If they don't change, I think they made the right decision. But power in numbers, and you should be spending money with those sponsors. Okay. And Cold Blooded, if they have coffee, I will purchase coffee off of Cold Blooded and feature it on this show if they took that stand. Okay. So I'll be reaching out to Cold Blooded. I don't know. Like I said, I have to look into it. But it shows that nobody is safe. Okay. And that your behavior will be um, addressed if unnecessary. It's important for people to understand that every post they make with their logo on it, that you are representing your business. Opinions can be more tactfully, I guess, stated without being insulting. I'm okay with insulting opinions. Okay, I'm okay with that. Balls and strikes. I'm insulted every time your opinion differs from mine. Okay, it's an insult to me. It insults my intelligence. And it's contradictory, and yeah, I'm insulted by that. But and I'm also okay with people not agreeing. I think insults are okay, maliciousness is not. Sometimes there's humor in insults, um, but when it's malicious, I think that's when we've crossed the line. If there's a line, okay. Um, I know you just hate being wrong, Brian. I don't think I can agree with that because I can't remember ever being wrong with you. Cold Blooded Cafe is separate from Cold Blood Coffee. Well, thank you for that. Well, I will have to figure something out. I don't really do frozen, but I can always get some jumbo rats for my boas. My thing is that I will make it intentional to spend money with these people that listen to us. My brother Gomez Pythons is in the building. What is up, Sal? Uh, so yeah, your voice was heard. Now keep talking. Reach out to those sponsors. Thank them. Express your gratitude that they listened. Let them know they made the right decision. And when the opportunity presents itself, spend some money with them because that's what it's all about at the end of the day. So that's pretty much been the world of podcasts this week. Now, who else do we have? Let's see. In our sticker breeder graveyard, Scales from the Crypt officially makes the list. I've seen him on podcasts. He was at shows. He was on the Milk Carton Chronicles, but now he is in the graveyard. Too many people have come back to me with the rumors that, not the rumors, excuse. Well, no, they're not rumors because they were firsthand. Coming back saying that he has ditched them and many others on payment plans and took the animals and never paid. I know we want to get rid of our animals, know who you're dealing with. And speaking of knowing who you're dealing with, Balls and Strikes Pythons, Ball and Hand Pythons out of Virginia has animals again that he is putting up. And although I have never won an animal, and I have been in almost every opportunity out there, I still vouch for the guy. So um, everyone that I know that has won animals have gotten their animals. They've been in good health, and he is a man of their word. What else? Oh, I didn't do my Who's Brian. So Who's Brian this week? I've told you guys many, many times that when I say silence is acceptance and that I am about community empowerment and community building, it's not just a reptile community, it's communities in general. We did have the governor and the House Minority Leader join us at LPAC over the weekend, and they were there in support of a judge that they want to kind of like run things. So that was pretty cool. There were a lot of powerful people in the building. And how does this affect us? Well, politics does affect us, guys. Okay. Um, right now, USARK, the United States Association of Reptile Keepers. I'm not throwing any jabs at anybody that didn't know what USARK stood for and has a podcast. Maybe I am throwing a jab. I don't know. If you caught it, then you know. Um, USARK has two recent alerts, and we just started. We are in the third week of the year, and in the first 2 weeks, there were already two alerts. One was for Connecticut and one was for Washington. Both of them are pertaining to animal program bans. US ARC's link is in the video description. Please go read them in depth. You don't have to live in Connecticut. You don't have to live in Washington to make your voice heard. Those are the numbers of the bills. That's how you would address them. In Connecticut, the bill is HB 5123. And in Washington, there are two bills, SB 5148 and HB 1157. There are next steps listed on the USARK website. Please go check it out when you get a chance. Wish you weren't so far, Brian. I got jumbo for days. Yeah, I know. I only have two big boas. So they only eat like twice a month, if that much. Depends on how big the feed is. But yeah, I dig it. Um, and I'd appreciate that. That would be so cool. I might see Dave this weekend since he is vending in Charleston, West Virginia at the West Virginia Reptile Expo. That would be so cool. If you see Dave, tell him I said what's up. He has come up so far as to vend in Pennsylvania, and I've hung out with him. Samson and I went out to dinner with Dave. He's a really good guy, and like I said, I vouch for him. He's definitely approved. Amanda says Dave is great. Bailey Royal Beauty says we've gotten a snake from Bowl and Hand Python, and he was amazing to work with, and the animal is healthy and beautiful. Ban on animal programs like the kid programs. Yes, it's a ban on educational programs is included in that. And obviously, the way it's written, it would be more than just the educational programs. Like I mentioned, to get the details and whatever next steps you can provide, please go to USARK's website, and they have next steps and full details there. You can click on alerts, and it has all the alerts listed. Guys, all we need is these things to happen in one state, and as you can see, it starts a trickle effect. So please don't think that it won't happen to you. This is east to west, Washington, state of Washington, and Connecticut. So that's as broad a gap as you could possibly have from east to west. There's an alert for Virginia as well. I believe the Virginia alert was in December, so I only posted the two that happened in January, but I do believe there was an alert in Virginia. Okay, and Georgia had one towards the end of the year also. So the point is, guys, you've already demonstrated that there is power in numbers and that your voice can be heard. Okay. All joking aside, I feel like this show is more of a ball python news program and a hangout for all the cool kids. Been great making friends with a lot of people in here, even you, Brian. Well, I thank you so much, Troy. I really, really appreciate that. Okay. Um, so what else do we have out there? Let's see. Uh, I did want to leave it with one. I showed you a photo last week hanging out with Suge Knight and Corrupt and my DJ Corruption when I was in the music business. So in the music business, I too have a also known as, or you could call it an AKA, and I was Be Righteous. So I remember the first time I saw this quote. It was in the museum. It's a huge, huge, like quote on a wall in the museum, and it's from our 26th president, Theodore Roosevelt. And he said, "If I must choose between righteousness and peace, I choose righteousness." So I know the last few weeks have been extremely crazy in this ball python reptile world of ours. There is no peace, guys, without war. Okay. And unfortunately, things build up to what we're going through. I just want to commend all of you that took a stand, that spoke up and went out there and did what they had to do. And the process for progress has begun. And that's great. We're not where we need to be, but we're not where we were. So it's really good to see that and to be a part of it. So we talk about drama. It's not drama. Everything that we're talking about is reality, and it's seeking resolution. And speaking of which, Kayla and Jube Jube actually got to confront their oppressor. Um, from what I heard, it didn't go as well as it could have as far as the apology that was sought. I was under the impression that the apology, there was specific criteria for the apology. I heard it was a watered down um, attempt, feeble attempt, but Kayla also got to share the importance of nidovirus testing and how to do it, and she was very happy and pleased that she got that out there. So there is a silver lining, okay? And everyone is different. So hit that like button, Tag says. Tag, you're it, and I agree. Let's do it. Bam, Ryan Exotics, what's up? Got all these latecomers here. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So Hughes, hashtag Hughes says government overreach. We need reptile people to run for office in all states. We have no one except USARK and USARK Florida and ourselves. But ourselves is big. And a lot of people say that's not going to affect me. And that is why you have to pick up the phones. You have to send in emails. You have to contact your representatives and let them know, hey, this is important to me. You want my vote? I want this. Do not ban this. You are not educated. There's always a follow the money type of thing. So if it was up to them, JQ says if it was up to them, we wouldn't be able to keep any animals. So that's the stuff that you definitely need to be worried about. So while we're speaking about nobody's safe, we're not safe, guys. We are not safe from the fakes, frauds, and phonies in the reptile community. And these things have popped up on my page. And I found it very interesting. And I always say, men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. And you start to see these YouTube channels that have these astronomical subscribers, but then you don't see that in the comments. You don't see that in the likes. You don't see that in the live streams. You have, there's certain numbers, right? So how is it that it's happening? Well, this is how it's happening. People are buying, okay, YouTube subscribers. When they buy so many subscribers, now there's this false impression that they are credible, right? Because so many people follow them. And if they have so many people subscribe to them, they must be great. This must be a great show, right? It has to be when they have so many subscribers, so many followers. But the analytics don't show that. The analytics don't show that the show is great. It doesn't show that they have that support. That's why I always say this show, this channel, okay, I get I get to say it's mine, but it's not mine. Just like Troy said in the chat, it's become a hangout. What makes this show, and I was having this conversation with another podcaster, and I said sometimes I show up, I have nothing to say. I don't. I go with the flow. And let's say I have a guest that is less than personable, and it's like pulling teeth and trying to get that going. I'm able to ignore the guests and get into the chat and hang out with you guys. You guys make this show. Whenever we have something to fight for, you guys stand up and you fight. Whenever we need support, you guys support. And I always say it, we're like the Spartan 300. Like I'll put the viewership and the members of this channel and this show up against anyone. But what happens here is that when the guest you want to see go on those shows because they look at the numbers, not knowing, because these guys don't have time. They don't have time, okay, to vet which pod. If you guys think that the biggest names in the industry are out here watching podcasts, they're not. They're most likely creating their own material for their social media content, etc. Okay. You need to reach out to the people. I've had a lot of DMs, okay, of people that you have said you would love to see on this show. Okay. Let's make it happen. But you need to reach out to those people and let them know that you want to see them on this show and why you want to see them on this show. Because if you put my numbers and my amount of subscribers and my amount of viewers up against these shows that have tens of thousands of subscribers, well, why would they come on my show not knowing when the other show looks like it's so much stronger? And in reality, you know it's not. Will knows it's not. Will's a podcast whore. Okay. All right. Those of you that have jumped into my DMs and said, I just wasted an hour of my life watching this or watching that, you know they're not better. Okay. But I refuse to purchase subscribers. I refuse to beg for subscribers. You'll get that one. Hit like, hit subscribe, call it a day. And if you do, you do. And if you don't, you don't. But then you can't be mad that the people you want to see, you don't get to see them the way you want to see them. You don't get to find out the things you want to find out because they're going on these other shows. Okay. One of the biggest compliments I got was from a very credible person who said that when he saw the Bob Vu episode, and Bob Vu has been on many shows, that it was the best Bob Vu interview he's ever seen. Okay, that was a huge compliment, and a lot of times you guys drop those compliments in the DMs, and I really appreciate that. Analytics show that if you have a ton of subs but no watch time engagement, you'll get shadow banned. Well, I don't know what's going on there. You know, I've been waiting for this guy, 121 Mutations, to reach out. And I'm going to be very honest. I'm going to be as honest as possible. I couldn't wait to tell him, the Giants won and the Cowboys lost. But oh my God, did the Cowboys spank Brady and the Bucks. Brady should have just retired after that Super Bowl win. I've said it a million times. Thank you, Ray. Hit that like button. But yes, congratulations to you as well. I believe both the Cowboys and the Giants have a very tough game ahead of them. I am just happy that we made it to the playoffs after so many years. I just don't see us getting past the Eagles. That's just the reality. That will be a very tough feat. All right, guys. So nobody's safe was the theme, and I thought that this was a big one just to show you how real it is. If Usain Bolt didn't relate that someone of such stature and recognition could get scammed out of his entire life earnings and retirement, I don't know what is. But this one really hit home. Rennick's exotic snake farm sold to Lehner leads to Golden Knights goalie bankruptcy. I mean, how crazy is that? If you look at the tattoo, and I'm not talking about the tattoo of Long Island on his neck because he was an islander. If you look past that, you'll see a tattoo of a snake. Okay. Um, it's very interesting. He purchased or went into agreement to purchase Rennick's entire snake farm a couple of years back for about $1.2 million. And if you look at there's many articles, all you have to do is Google anything that's mentioned there. That's my little news title there. I thought it was a little snazzy, right? Rennick's exotic snake farm sold to Lehner leads to Golden Knights goalie bankruptcy. I just thought it sounded good, and if I was going to write an article, that's how I would have written it. Um, but it's part of the bankruptcy. He has not honored that payment. There's discussions that he stole snakes and both ball pythons and retics, um, and it's just sad to see when these things happen. Um, but nobody's safe, guys. Nobody is safe. G-men, look at all the G-men love. Oh, we got to show the G-men love, guys. We just got to show it. Keep the faith. Listen, if they beat the Eagles, we can win the Super Bowl. Come on, come on. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Um, so yeah, nobody's safe, guys. I mean, we're talking about a 1.2, I believe it was $1.2 million acquisition here. Um, he bought more than yes, he did. His bankruptcy is for many millions of dollars. I think he has maybe 5 to 10 million in assets, and his bankruptcy is for like 50 million, something like that. So yeah, I definitely understand that, but this is what makes it snazzy, buddy, for us in the reptile community. So please don't go bashing my headline there, right? That's a really good headline. And I put some thought into that, and I really do like it. Thank you very much. So we're going to stick with my headline. Thank you so much. But there are articles that show that was the beginning of the actual bankruptcy, and you will see it mentioned in all of the articles. There's a slew of articles that are discussing it, and like I said, you will definitely see that in all of them. So I just wanted to share that with you all. So guys, listen, it's been a definitely oh, look at that snazzy little photo right there. It's been a crazy week, and it's not going to get any less crazy, I don't think. What I do think is that nobody's safe. Nobody's safe. Set your goals, okay? Check your goals, smash your goals, crush your goals. Don't wait till tomorrow. Do it today. Okay. And thank you. I want to say thank you to all of you that have made this community a better place. Okay. You have made the community a much better place. Boyd's Exotic Reptile says he bought several other large collections as well. Trademan Exotic says, I mean, it's an Islanders tat, of course. I mean, he's been on what, 2 teams since? I don't know if that's such a cool thing. I wouldn't be a happy teammate seeing you paying homage to a former team when you're my goalie. But guys, crush the rest of your week. Find a way to make this a better place. Find us a way to make this a better community. It all starts with you. Let's start pushing. One of the things that I do like about Kayla of Jube and friends is that um, she pushes for the pet owner. We need more pet owners. Okay, everybody in our community cannot be a breeder. All right, we need more pet owners. You need people to sell your snakes to. All right, so let's keep pushing for more pet owners in the community. Let's get more things done geared to expanding the community. I want you all to have an amazing week. Thank you guys for those DMs. As you noticed, every week that's been the introduction. I try to keep it to a minute. I don't give you a 12-minute introduction like some people. So I try to keep the intro to a minute, and the introduction has been exactly that. It's just been some of the stuff that you guys send. And I really appreciate the words of affirmation, and I appreciate you guys making a difference in a positive way. So you all have yourselves a great week, and I'll see you again on What's in Your Cup.